The storm over Outpost Roso 17 had been raging for 8 straight hours when Elias Marin found the 4 girls. He hadn't meant to be wandering outside the colony walls. He was a mechanic, not a ranger. Definitely not someone who should be stumbling through lightning storms that split the sky into burning ribbons. But the distress beacon had been old, faint almost like a whisper. Echoing in the red dust stand, Elias had a habit of helping when no one else would. He expected to find another crashed cargo drone or yet another faulty relay. Never expected to find children. They were huddled in the wreckage of a scorched dropship, its hull still steaming, its insignia melted into black metal. When Elias saw a movement for silhouettes, trembling beneath ripped fabric, he froze. They weren't human. Their eyes glowed faint lavender even in the storm. Their skin shimmered like starlight, and each one had the same strange sigil burned into her arm, a swirling spiral symbol he didn't recognize. They stared back at him, terrified. The smallest one, barely old enough to speak, lifted her arms toward him. "Help, Daddy." Elias swallowed hard. "I'm not your..." A thunderclap swallowed his voice. The girl whimpered. Instinct overruled reason. He reached out and wrapped her in his coat. The other 3 followed without hesitation. Fine, he murmured, guiding them toward the colony. "Let's get all of you inside before this storm sends us to the afterlife." He didn't know it yet, but the galaxy had just shifted, and it would never shift back. Elias had always lived alone, not because he wanted to, but because life had drained the fight out of him. Parents gone, his last crew scattered, his dreams lost to debts and corporate wars. He had stopped imagining a future until 4 alien girls took over his home. They cleaned nothing. They touched everything. The middle one, who introduced herself as Soli, liked dismantling his tools. The second oldest, Reyna, had a habit of asking dangerously intelligent questions about planet-killing physics. The youngest, Vix, slept curled on his chest like a kitten and refused to move. And the eldest, Araxia, stared at him every night as if silently evaluating whether he was worthy of breathing. But they were children, scared, orphaned, and clinging to him as their only stability. So Elias did what decent men do. He fed them, bathed them, repaired the burns covering their arms, held them when nightmares woke them screaming, and slowly they softened. One evening after dinner, Vix tugged on his shirt. "Eli, are we safe with you?" He bent down. "Yes, no matter what." Araxia's glowing eyes flickered. "You should not promise safety so easily, human." "Why?" Elias asked. Araxia hesitated, then looked away. "Because everything that hunts us is greater than you." The truth arrived 4 days later. The sky split open with violet fire as a ship unlike any Elias had ever seen descended upon Outpost Row 17. Its silhouette resembled a colossal, horned beast, wings of plasma stretching across the horizon. The colony sirens blared, Demon Queen Vishrana. The galaxies whispered her name the way. Humans whispered death, the destroyer of worlds, the devourer of civilizations, the tyrant whose armies churned planets into powder. Her very presence was said to suffocate stars, and she was here not for war, but for her daughters. Elias ordered the girls to hide. He stood at the colony gate with shaking hands as the ramp of the monstrous ship lowered. The temperature dropped 20 degrees instantly, and then she appeared. She was 7 feet tall, with obsidian horns, molten gold eyes, and hair that moved like smoke. Her cloak rippled with engraved souls. Every soldier behind her radiated lethal energy. Her gaze found Elias. "You possess what belongs to me." Her voice cracked the air like burning ice. Elias forced himself to stand firm. "If you mean the girls, they're safe. I found them in a wreck." Vishrana's expression tightened. "They are heirs to my throne. Their blood carries the fire that can shatter planets. No mortal is permitted to shelter them." Elias took a step forward before fear could stop him. "They're children. They need food, beds, someone to care. Not an army." Her soldiers roared with outrage. She raised her hand, silencing them. You speak boldly for a man who stands before extinction. Elias's voice softened. Did you ever hold them when they cried? When they woke screaming? When Soleil couldn't breathe from panic? When Reina asked if she would die before reaching adulthood? Did you? The demon queen froze. Her eyes flickered just once. Those emotions were unnecessary distractions, she whispered. Not to them, Elias answered. Her breath trembled, not with rage, with something far older. Far deeper, regret. Araxia suddenly emerged from behind Elias. No longer hiding, mother, she said quietly. Vishrina's monstrous facade cracked. She stepped forward, kneeling before her daughter. I failed you, Vishrana whispered, her voice breaking for the first time in 1,000 years. Your ship was attacked. Our enemies closed in. I sent you away to save you, and lost the trail. The other 3 girls ran out, sobbing. Tackling her with tiny arms, the demon queen feared across 10 galaxies held them like they were fragile glass. Elias stepped back, unsure what to do with the sudden tenderness. When the girls finally released her, Vishrana rose and faced him. You protected what I could not. You risked your life for my heirs. You gave them comfort where I gave them terror. She extended a clawed hand. I owe you a debt no queen has ever owed a mortal. Elias shook his head. I didn't do it for rewards. That, she said softly, is why the reward must be greater. Her eyes glowed brighter, if you wish it. You may remain with them. With us? Elias blinked. Are you inviting me to? Become their guardian, she said. And, her voice lowered, perhaps more. The colony behind him watched in silent awe. The most feared being in existence was offering alliance, kinship, maybe even family. He looked at the girls. Soleil smiled, gears still in her hair. Reina clung to his sleeve. Vix held her arms out for him. Araxia gave a tiny nod. He exhaled. I'll go with them. Vishrana bowed her head, a gesture of respect no human had ever received. The sky opened once more as they boarded the demon queen's ship. Elias held Vix in one arm, Soleil in the other, the older 2 flanking him protectively. As the doors closed, Vishrana stood beside him. You do not understand what you've accepted, she murmured. Elias smiled faintly. I didn't understand what I accepted when I found them. But they needed someone. I can be someone. The demon queen studied him, this fragile human who had sheltered her children and faced her without fear. You are either the bravest fool in the cosmos, she said, or the greatest miracle they could have found. He shrugged. Maybe both. Vishrina's lips curled into the smallest, rarest smile in the universe. As the ship ascended into the stars, the galaxy trembled not in fear, but in anticipation. Because the heirs of the demon queen now had a father, and the demon queen herself had found something she never expected. A reason to hope again.